Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. Greg, we'll start with you. Your interpretation of the raid on Michael Cohen and what this means today.
Well, I think the president was right to be frustrated and angry. Americans should be outraged. This is an abuse of the system. Here you have an attorney general who should never have recused himself and seems to be rather incompetent on the matter. You've got corrupt acts by top officials at the FBI, and you've got Rosenstein and Mueller who have abused the law. And today was a perfect example of this. And for what? A contract with a porn star to make her go away? It was a valid contract, the best we can tell. There's offer, acceptance, and consideration. Consideration's
So we
money.
do have contract law in this country. It's still applicable?
And it's not illegal to engage in a contract to make somebody go away. She took the $130,000.
I think it happens every day, hundreds of thousands of times. All right, Sarah, let's go to the other side of this and the double standard aspect in all of this. And to me, it is glaring. And that is, well, I don't think Greg Jarrett and Professor Dershowitz would get me off the hook if I deleted 33,000 emails and then I acid washed my hard drive and then I beat up my devices. And I don't think that James Comey would give me an exoneration that he's writing months before he talked to me or investigated the case. Nor do I think
I'd get you off the hook.
You'd get.
I'd prove this wasn't criminal. And
You'd prove it wasn't
political.
And similarly, look at the FISA abuses. If I lied to a judge anywhere, why am I scared to death? I'd be handcuffed, perp walked, mugshotted, and put in jail, and you'd bring me a file in a cake.
Well, I think that people will be indicted for lying. In fact, that's what I've been told. And also, you know, Sean, I think let's go back to the very beginning of this. You're absolutely right. We haven't seen them raid Hillary Clinton's home, raid her apartments, look into her history, raid her attorney's offices. I think the American public sees enough evidence here to say, wait, there is a double standard going on here, and it far surpasses anything they've ever seen in the past. People will not accept this. And I can tell you right now, based on what I'm hearing and looking at the mission creep by Mueller, it's not going to stand. If you just look at how they've slow-rolled the document.
Mueller's going to keep doing his job.
Mueller is going to keep doing his job. But remember, the American public is going to be the judge of this. And they have found no evidence of collusion with Russia. What they can do is try to corner the president and pressure him. But remember, there's pressure on their side, too, and that's coming from the American public. And I'm telling you, people are not going to stand for this. They're going to ask that there be an investigation. We're waiting for that IG report from Horowitz. We're also waiting to see where Huber is going with this. I'm assuming after Comey. I know, but it's coming. Me too.
Look, all right, the only good thing that's come of this is conservatives are becoming civil libertarians. You guys care about the Constitution now.
I always have. I always have.
It's so important because the people on the left don't seem to care about the Constitution. Everybody just picks sides. And that's a very great danger.
Well, Professor, let me ask you. I mean, the New York Times comes out, a Ukrainian, $150,000. All this gets dropped and thrown out there, and then the media is hysterical and breathless reporting, and then it turns out to be nothing.
Well, let me tell you about that, because I happen to know a lot about that. I represented Kuchma, the president of the Ukraine, in the Ukraine.
The person involved in this case.
The person involved in this, and his son-in-law, Viktor Pinchek, who was one of the most charitable, generous people in the world. He gave millions of dollars to the Clinton campaign, and of course he's going to pay $150,000 to get Donald Trump to speak. He'd have paid $250,000 to get other businessmen. That's
Greg Jarrett wants an invitation. He wants to speak there.
I'm in the speaking business.
No,
I get paid to speak, and people pay a lot of money to hear speakers like Donald Trump. And imagine if Gates or Zuckerberg were asked.
People pay me to speak, Professor. I know that's shocking to you, but yeah, I've been in that business.
So this is really a fake story. I don't know where it's coming from. $150,000.
It's not surprising.
To a foundation.
Greg?
Yeah,
what's wrong?
This is driven by the media narrative. But today's events, let me just say this, should put the nail in the coffin of any inclination the president ever had to sit down with Mueller. I think he's proven that he's forgotten the canon of ethics, which is the duty of a public prosecutor is not to gain a conviction, but to see that justice is done. This was always an investigation in search of a crime which the law does not allow. The president should say, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to answer questions about a non-crime called collusion. And to the professor's point earlier, he should not answer any questions about his decision that he's authorized.
So now we're going to have an
Constitution.
executive privilege fight. Now we're going to have a constitutional showdown. Yes or no?
Yeah, sure. Why not? And by the way, tomorrow, in addition,
I agree with you. Why not?
In addition to having a judge take over and be the clean team to look at these attorney-client privilege documents, the attorneys for the president should file a motion to quash what happened today.
Well, that's basically what I suggested. And of course, some people are saying the president should plead the Fifth. He should not plead the Fifth. Let me tell you why. If he pleads the Fifth, Mueller gives him immunity. And then he has to testify, and immunity doesn't cover impeachment. So pleading the Fifth would be exactly the wrong thing to do.
Isn't that ultimately Mueller's goal, though? He writes a report.
Sure. Sure.
In the hopes that Congress uses it to impeach him. That's the plan.
I think that's the plan. And he's not going to come to conclusions in the report. He's just going to lay out what the evidence is in a way that will make it hard, if the Democrats gain control, not to impeach.
Sarah, last word.
Well, I think we need to see where Inspector General Horowitz is going with this and Huber. I believe that there's going to be a lot of information coming out. People will be indicted. There's going to be more information coming out of these documents. And in the end, they can make those decisions based on the evidence that's coming forth. And I think the American public deserves to see that. I think Congress deserves to see that. And I think for the sanctity of our institutions, we need to get that information out.
But we do have a fundamental disagreement. I want fewer indictments on both sides. I don't want to see a bad criminal investigation against Trump become an excuse for a bad criminal investigation.
Well, you agree, FISA, you can't lie to a FISA judge.
You can't go to a FISA judge and lie.
Well, they lied.
No,
they purposely withheld information.
It has to be a lie under oath, and then you have to show its material. There are a lot of elements.
If I went to a FISA judge with an application I know was paid for by one political group and withheld that,
it's in a footnote.
Yeah.
So, but no, they didn't say. They didn't say in the footnote who it was from.
Yeah, but the question is
all right, here's a question. This is an election. If I deleted 33,000 subpoenaed emails, I acid washed my hard drive, I beat up my devices with a hammer, are you saying they're not going to hold me for obstruction?
I'd get you off. I would. No, seriously, because I think there is a big difference between politically doing the wrong thing and being negligent and committing a felony.
I think I'd be handcuffed and there's no getting me out. They would love me in jail.
And
you would so be in jail.
So be in jail. I know.
And
I've got to run. We're really late. All right. We do have another big story tonight. We are waiting. The president might tonight be ordering a military strike against Syria as a result of what was a gassing of innocent men, women, and children. Also, my response to Jimmy Kimmel. Busy news night. Stay with us.